Okay then chaps, let's give it a go, shall we? Now we're having a little bit of fun at Foa Fortress today, where we begin making a diving run on the D flag. Now there are some enemy soldiers down there, so we drop some bombs and manage to pick off one of them. Okay, not a bad start. Now I'm going to bring the aeroplane back round as slowly as possible and try and line up for a second pass, putting some lead down first to see if I get lucky and establish the positions of the enemies. Now dropping some bombs and there we go, got two of them on that run. Okay, now I'm going to wait for the bombs to reload for a moment before bringing the aeroplane back round and lining up for a third pass. The same procedure as before, we simply put down some lead. Managed to pick off one of them there. There's still a couple of chaps though, can I get them? Yes. Okay, not too shabby. Now, as you can imagine, this sort of thing really is tremendously fun. And tremendously easy as well. All we really need to do is to line up our shot, keep it low and... Oh dear. Oh well, never mind. Okay, now I'm on a GG, and as I've said before, these things really are dreadful beasts, and unfortunately I'm going to have to try to make my way across to the B flag there, and I've got no idea how these things handle in water. Okay, it appears that they don't handle in water. Okay, come on now, Dobbin, GG, let's get going, shall we? Come on. Oh dear, seems he doesn't want to play the game at all. Come on now, horsey, let's get going. Ah, there we go, fantastic. Okay, now I've made it to the B flag. Evidently there are some enemy here, but I shall be no assistance to my team whatsoever, as I cannot control this wretched beast. Now, as fortune would have it, I end up facing in a random direction where there are some enemies, and so I take a shot. No, I don't want to go that way. No, not that bloody thing. Okay, now I'm going to have to make it across the water here. Let's see if it goes any better. No. Okay, blow that for a game of soldiers. We're going to make our way on foot now, up to where we saw... Ah, look, there's a horse there. Well, why not give it another go after all? Actually, now I look, I can see a car down there, and that really is more my sort of thing. Okay, now all I really need to do is to jump in here and... Okay, how'd you start the thing? Okay, right, there we go. Okay, now undoubtedly I'm going to have a lot more luck with this, I should Coco. Oh. Oh, and that car seems to be driving on water. How peculiar. Okay, now I'm in an aeroplane here now, and I'm bringing it round over the B flag, and I spot a gentleman up there in the air. And I am thoroughly ashamed to have to admit that this is not in any way necessary. This gentleman did not instigate any kind of dogfight with me, and this is an entirely unprovoked attack. However, I decide that I'm going to shoot him out of the sky anyway, and so I latch on behind him and see if I can follow him around. He is rather a slippery little rascal, but I'm afraid that I have clipped his wing already, and so there's going to be very little that he can do to escape me. At this point, he does acquire a rear gunner, and that will make things a little more tricky, but I managed to shoot one of them at least. I think it's the pilot. The rear gun is still there, and he's sticking with it all the way down. Well, you really can't complain at that. That is a jolly good show. Well done, that man. Okay, now I'm taking a run at the C flag here when I notice a little bit of activity up on the ridge here. It's a tank and some men. I'll drop some bombs and see what I can get. Not a great deal, to be honest with you, but not to matter. I'm going to bring the aeroplane round this cliff face now, nice and slowly, and see if I can line up for a second run. Here we go. Now, this really should be a lot more fun. Okay, let's get... Oh, dear. Right, okay. Now, that did not go the way I expected at all. No, I'm afraid I'm going to have to repair the aeroplane. Oh, dear. Oh, well, never mind. Okay, now I'm making a diving run on the B flag here, seeing who's around when I come under fire from an artillery truck, and as I change my course, I notice an attack plane flying overhead. I decide to give chase, and after I level my aeroplane out and relocate the target, I notice that he himself comes under fire from an anti-aircraft gun and decide that he really does seem to be having rather a rough time of it, so I shall leave him be. Can I get some kills on the E flag though? No. Okay, now I'm in a boat, and I've decided I'm going to make it to the A flag when I notice that the G flag has actually been taken right under my nose, so I jump into the front of the boat and open fire. Now, there are more over there, so I'll have to let the smoke clear to see if I... Oh dear, that grenade could cause a problem. Not to worry, I was shot from behind. Okay, now I'm in a tank, going back to the G flag, and as I do, I see a gentleman over there. Now, unfortunately, I'm not particularly well versed with the controls of these machines, and so the man manages to run rings around me. I'm pretty sure he's turned to my right, so I'm going to keep going that way, and yes, sure enough, there he is, and I've missed him again. Okay, let's give it another shot. No, missed him again. Right then, one last chance, and yes, got him. Well, that was jolly good fun, I must admit. Okay, I made it to the G flag, still in the tank, don't you know, but there's a gentleman over there running around the rock. Now, I think they managed to bring him down at this point, but I'll fire another shot just for good measure, and there we go. Okay, now all I'm going to have to do now is really hold my in this position and see if we can take the flag before the end of the game. And oh, I've got a horse on top of my tank. Oh, that really is most peculiar.